now overseas and a potentially ominous new development in the fight against ISIS in Iraq. Three longtime enemies of the U.S., Russia, Syria, and Iran, all teaming up now to fight the terror group. Their coordination posing some new challenges to the U.S.-led mission there. Joining us now, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer. He's also a senior fellow with the London Center for Policy Research. Welcome, Tony. It's great to have you. I know that there's a great deal of concern about Russia's moves right now. Vladimir Putin.
That's an understatement. Yes, ma'am.
What is he up to? What do you think he's up to?
Clearly, he's filling the power vacuum. Look, we recognized 2 years ago that something had to be done rapidly regarding the situation in Syria. We recognized while it was complex, it was not something we should just leave aside. We are leading so far from behind. We are now the junior varsity, to quote President Obama. Putin's stepping up. He's moving in. He's trying to do things which we should be doing regarding allying with those in the region who actually are committed to stopping ISIS. And by a secondary effect, he's taking over and reassuming the Russian leadership that the Soviets lost in the 70s. This is all predicted. I rail when I hear NATO said we had no idea this was going to happen. We all predicted it was going to happen. So what you see simply is realpolitik being played by Vladimir Putin and doing what's necessary to bring some level of stability back to the region.
He also senses weakness from the White House right now.
Absolutely.
And really believes that the White House isn't going to stop him from moving ahead, even though he's planning to meet next week with the president here in Washington. What do you make of the fact right now that we're even getting reports that Hezbollah leaders are welcoming Russia's growing presence in Syria?
Because, again, it's for Hezbollah and the other folks in that region, the strong horse is that which is emblematic as well as respected. Right now, Russia is seen as a strong horse. And as you just pointed out, Vladimir Putin knows President Obama will do nothing to oppose this. We opened the door when we gave them the green light to go into Syria and take out the WMD, the sarin and other gases, and that was kind of Katie barred the door. Now he's in for the whole game. And I think at this point in time, we have to recognize that while we may not be acting, I do believe what Putin is doing is going to help bring stability to the region. The biggest issue we should all be focused on is preventing ungoverned space from being habitable by terrorists. So right now, over half of Syria has fallen to ISIS. We should have partnered with the Kurds, partnered with those who want to work with us a long time ago. We didn't. And in the absence of that, Putin's moving in to do what we should have.
And you know, it really, what's illustrative of the whole breakdown between Russia and the U.S., Russia saying it's coming to the United States to talk about Syria, and the White House says, no, they're really here to talk about its presence in the Ukraine. So there you have it. You don't even have them on the same page about what's going to be on the table for discussion.
Correct.
So it really does pose an ominous sign. I want to move on also to China.
Sure.
The fact that the president is in town and talking with President Obama, and they are also dancing around this whole issue about the hacking concerns that China is being accused of doing against U.S. corporations and even our own Defense Department. What are you hearing from your sources about China's influence right now here in our backyard?
It's a great question. First, President Obama is trying to get out of the Chinese some agreements on global climate change, that they'll basically reduce their carbon emissions. So that's what he wants. The Chinese are saying, oh, absolutely, Mr. President, we'll give that to you. The other thing, obviously, we want from them then is to stop the hacking. And Uma, all my folks who are inside are telling me that, yes, the Chinese are behind the OPM hack. They're behind hacking major corporations, especially defense corporations. They're doing everything they can to basically absorb our knowledge, our innovation. And the bottom line is this: just like Putin knows that President Obama is completely feckless regarding the Syria and the Middle East, President Xi knows that we're completely feckless when it comes to China. There's nothing in it for China to stop doing what they're doing or mitigate what they're doing regarding global climate change. So the president has no leverage. So the Chinese have nothing to lose by saying, yes, Mr. President, yes, Mr. President Obama, we will give you whatever you want, and then continue to do exactly what they're doing. You will continue to see hacks. You will continue to see them producing large amounts of carbon. Frankly, even if they wanted to help, I don't think they could get control of their own industry based on the way it's developing. So
are you saying all of this is just about photo ops and having the appearance of cooperation, that really nothing's going to get done?
I'm quoting my friend Catherine Herridge, it's all happy talk. That's all it is. And so the Chinese have nothing to lose by giving happy talk, by showing up and having a nice state dinner, but going on with what they're doing. Again, there's nothing we have in the way of leverage, in the way of something to trade to them. There's nothing that we have they want. And clearly there's things that they're doing that we don't like. There's things we'd like them to do, they're not going to do. And I think that's the way it's sadly to say, it's the way it is.
It's a sad situation if all of this is pointing towards that direction. All right, Colonel Schaefer, thank you so much as always.
Sure,
we really love having you on the show and providing us with your analysis on some very, very troubling issues.
Thank you, ma'am.
And